What is going on, everyone? Scott back from Croc. Now, the past couple of days in the market's been pretty rough. We've seen a drop uh, back to below 200 and I believe 95 billion in our market cap. It's recovered a little bit back up to 301, but Bitcoin has been dabbling around that $8,000 mark. It seems to be really having a difficult time keeping its head above water. However, Bitcoin dominance is becoming stronger than ever. We're actually at a 44.8% Bitcoin dominance, which has been probably one of the highest that it's been in a couple months at least. But as you guys know, when Bitcoin takes a tank, all the altcoins go with it, right? So most of the altcoins are traded in pairs directly by Bitcoin or Ethereum. And we can see that direct correlation because of the fact that all of these coins are down, you know, 5, 8, 10%. And this seems to be a trend in the past couple days. We've seen Bitcoin, let's see here, in the past 7 days, Bitcoin was actually at 9 grand, and now it's down, coasting around what seems to be 8 grand. It's having a real tough time getting out of this bubble here. Now today we're going to be talking about a altcoin that I've been having my eyes on for the past couple days. It came out pretty solid, right around 8 cents. And this coin is Mithril, MITH. Now, like I said, Mithril came out last Saturday, March the 24th, at around 8 cents, and nothing really, nothing really exciting was happening. We did have a pretty decent trading volume. I think there was around 20 million in terms of trading volume in the first day, compared to a lot of the other altcoins that just dropped in that same day. It was like almost 10 or 100 times the trading volume. So it was definitely a coin that I was looking at. But after doing some research, I was really having a hard time truly understanding why anyone would want to buy this coin. Now, a couple days later, we're seeing this coin almost like 4 or 5x in terms of growth, from 8 cents to now 41 cents. 114% up on the day, with, look at this, 100 million in trading volume in the past 24 hours. It's now rank 88 coin. This coin came out at like rank 1200. So there's a huge influx in dollars going into this coin. But the weird thing is nothing's changed. Nothing's changed in the past couple days. So I'm really having a hard time trying to understand why people are throwing their money here, right? And what I've kind of come to a realization is over the past week, there's been so much news on Facebook. There's been a lot of bad publicity with Facebook in how all these third-party apps are selling your information. If you had Facebook on Android, your contact details, your call logs, your text messages, it was all being stored, and Facebook had access to that data. And in Facebook's terms of service, they explicitly state that they don't give that information out. But what these third-party apps were doing is they were actually like stealing access to your data. And then once they had your data, they were selling on the market, right? So they were selling, I heard numbers in terms of like $1 per user on Facebook. And if they got 50 million users in that breach, well, there you go, $50 million, right? So data is now extremely important. It's, like I said, it's one of the it's going to be one of the top commodities in the world in terms of price. People are going to be looking for your data ultimately to sell you products and services that are more aligned with what you're searching for, what your interests are, what your hobbies are. So data is king, right? And Facebook is ultimately the king of data. So, Facebook's getting slapped on the wrist right now. Mark Zuckerberg's being summoned to speak in front of the U.S. Courts. And I think he also got summoned to the UK, but he basically said, no, screw you guys. You can go talk to my lackeys. I don't have time to deal with you. So, that is what's been happening over the past couple days. And I think that news has actually been driving Mithril's volume and why it's becoming so successful. So we're going to quickly jump over to Mithril's website and we're going to learn a little bit about Mithril. So Mithril is essentially it's a social network, right? It's no different than Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram. Um, And really, when people are attracted to new social networks, that social network needs to bring new features um, and new value to the end customer that might make them want to create an account or switch their day to day social networking and move to this new platform. So with Mithril, it's basically it's kind of a Instagram and Snapchat uh, and kind of like a Twitter all combined together in that people share photos, make cool filters on their photos, put little words and stuff like that, kind of like in Snapchat, and then share it amongst people. So that is its main platform. But how it differs is that it actually rewards its content owners and its curators in coins. So they're actually rewarded in tokens, and it's based on the amount of influence that you have on the total market. So if you share a photo or you share a video, and that video then gets shared by hundreds of other people, you actually get rewarded in lit tokens because of your reach, right? So right now, the only big provider that does that is YouTube. If you make a video and you're a YouTuber and you have over 1,000 subscribers and whatever it is, 10,000 viewing hours, I think YouTube just literally changed their qualifications to be a partner. Then you can actually make money on YouTube, right? So there's hundreds and thousands of people that are making YouTube. They're making their money out of YouTube, um, but that's really it. There's not a lot of people that are making money directly from Facebook. There's not a lot of people making money directly from Twitter and directly from Instagram, right? And even Snapchat. But they're making money from third-party providers, ad providers, companies that are willing to hey, wear my shoes or wear my hat or wear my handbag, and we'll give you $50,000, right? That is where the market's heading. It's heading towards a place where social influencers can actually make money and make a pretty decent standard of living simply by endorsing products, right? So, I mean, Kim Kardashian, I think she charges like $50,000 for a post, right? So if there's a company that wants to endorse like makeup or lipstick or something, they'll pay her $50,000 and say, hey, post, right? Post this and say that you've worn it, and that you like it. And so she goes ahead and posts it. Millions and millions of people see that. And then as a direct result, fangirls and fanboys go out and get their lipstick. And the company ultimately makes money. So we're seeing a big tradition. We're seeing a big split in terms of advertising. People are now going to these new, unique ways of advertising, and I think Myth is really trying to do that. They're trying to make people that curate and make really good content on their platform, and they're rewarded in their token. Now, the biggest thing that I found with Lit is that they don't, they're not that much different than the Instagrams, the Snapchats, the Facebooks. it's just so much of the same stuff where everyone has their profile, everyone posts photos, people can follow people, right? It's, you know, there's filters, there's all sorts of stuff, but what really makes them different? And I'm having a really hard time trying to understand that, and I'm having a really hard time trying to understand why there's so much of this volume going up in the day. And I don't want to say it's a bubble, but I mean, the past couple coins that we've been reviewing that have gone up 100% in the day, well, they seem to basically take a nosedive, and 50% of the coin gets sold off in the next couple days, because that whale is leaving the market. And I mean, we're seeing $100 million traded in the past 24 hours, and I'm pretty sure that somewhere in that market is a big whale. And if that whale's made their money, they're going to pull it out. The market's going to come crashing down with it. And what's going to end up happening is once that whale pulls out, there's going to be all these small fish that have lost 50% of their coin, and they're going to follow suit. But it's going to be too late because the whale's already taken all the profits. And the coin's actually going to go down by like 70%, right? So it's not anything Mithril's doing bad. It's sometimes just the fact that markets can be manipulated, right? It doesn't matter what kind of a coin it is. Markets can be so manipulated to the point where the coin can seem very popular only to be, just pulled right out in front of your nose. So we're seeing Mithril at 88, rank 88, which is pretty damn crazy considering this was like rank 1200 just a couple days ago. But like I said, guys, um, it's always good to do your own research. I know people don't like hearing that, but I read their white paper. I downloaded their app. I actually did some homework here, and I'm having a really hard time trying to understand Mithril and why people are going to go to this platform. There's not a lot to it why it would make me want to switch over. It's just too much of the same. And in our day and age right now, we need a real big contender to come in and really change up the game and offer all these new features that no one else is doing. I'm sorry, filters and text and stuff like that. It just really isn't any different. And I don't think rewarding people in a 41-cent coin is going to be doing anything to attract people to that platform, regardless of how many users they have. So take that as it is. Take it with a grain of salt. I think this coin's being manipulated by some big whale, and we could see it potentially drop down 50% within the next week or so. Yeah, guys. So with that being said, thanks for watching the video. We're going to be coming out with crypto videos. Stay tuned for more, telling you which ones to buy and which ones stay away from. And for me, Mithril, just stay away from it. That's all I got to say, guys. With that being said, we'll talk to you later.